Live. Yeah, I'm drinking it. I feel like. Tasty. No one on here yet. All right. Well, if that's the case, on myself, I'm going to turn these lights on. Now, I'm wondering if I turn on the thing on the back end, if it will follow me. What's up? So will it follow me? Ah, won't. That sucks. What's up? Good morning to you. I'm in the afternoon, so you must be on the West Coast. What's good, guys? Erica's not with me today. She is busy doing some other things, so I got to read these things off myself. My will help me live longer. How is he dead already? What? Uh-oh. What's the title say? Did I put this thing better? I'll fix it after. Pete's sake. Watching from Rome. Nice. Rome wasn't built in a day. Cheesy, I know. My bad. Good morning from Cali. Yes. Yo, check it out. Who's going to be at the Fit Expo in Anaheim, August 17th, 18th? I'll be down there. So if you're down there, I will be opening up some one-on-one coaching and stuff. Come on the channel, get one-on-one coaching and all good stuff. So I'll let you guys know more about that very soon. But yes, it says my TO instead of tip. Great. Awesome. And I can't even change it now. So that sucks. Can I? You know what? We'll figure it out after. Long as now that might maybe create some more curiosity because of the title. So maybe someone will be like, "What's he trying to say?" And then I'll get in there. Glute spread form. Glute spread form. What's a good glute spread form? I gotta like not read these because I'll read them and I'll just be a total jackass. Noon here, nice. Actually, more east than you most likely. Yeah. Well, I'm noon for you. I'm east. I'm on the Atlantic Ocean. That's how east I am. I'm in Halifax. So G19 or G45. Don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Kim, what's up, man? What's up? Everybody, Kim is for questions. Do you ship your t-shirts worldwide? I do ship my t-shirts worldwide. I actually got one back, which reminds me, I do ship worldwide. Make sure when you do order, you put exactly the proper address because it takes a bit to get all the way out there. And then if it's the wrong address, then they'll ship it back to me. Then I got to ship it back out. So yes, I do. Kim, nice to see you, brother. I take my personal training certification test on Thursday. Yes, let's go. I know you're ready. Just keep studying. There's no better way to study than to just really apply everything that you're learning onto your clients. Thanks for helping me get the confidence to go to the gym and lose hell yeah. Heck yeah. Appreciate it, man. That's like I say, guys, when you guys give me credit, I appreciate it, but make sure you're giving yourself even more credit because you got to do the work. You don't have to. You can come on here and find every excuse in the book to not go to the gym, but you found a way and you're doing it. So keep it up. What up, Johnny? Love the last couple of months videos detailing how to exercise properly. Appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. And I'll keep doing it, right? I'm doing my best to get the best content out. Now it's just really getting the other YouTube game figured out so more people can see it. There's so much behind these videos, guys, that it's absolutely nuts. But best lower lat exercise. I'm having trouble isolating it with heavy. So a couple things. When we're talking about like lower lats, and I made this, I've done this before. Let me try and do something for you guys. Let's just go right here, actually. All right, so actually, no, let's not do that. We're gonna go over here and we're going to use, we're gonna go standing. We're gonna go right here, guys, with the seat, I'll do it from a standing position. But if we're talking about lower lats, and I'll use just one of these. I'll just use one, right? I don't need two. And I love cables because you get a lot out of cables. Just don't hog it and let everyone else in the gym use it. But when we're doing the lower lats, guys, remember did that video come out yet? Yes, my lat video. If you haven't seen the lat video I did, highly recommend you go watch it. All right, guys. So when it comes to like lower lats, right? If it's super simple, when we talk about lower lats, understand that our lats attach to our hip, right? Into ours, basically like right up our T-spine, and then they attach right basically underneath your arm here, and it pulls your arm like this, right? When we do rows, a lot of times we fixate on the bending of the arm, when if I take away this part of the arm, or just imagine this, I'm extending this, my humerus to here, my lat is just doing this. It's doing this, and it does this, right? So when we're doing rows, right, if we are setting up something low from here, right, it's gonna hit lower lat because it's coming from the bottom, and here's where gravity's pulling me, or tension. Now, making sure we can feel it, I always make that cue like the whole my milk the cow cue, which is basically push down on the handle, right? I want to like basically pull on the udders, pulling it down while I row, right? What that does is, see, when I'm not just pushing down this way with my hand, I'm not trying to bend, I'm just basically trying to take this arm here, and while I'm pulling this weight down or the handle in this direction, I'm forcing my lat to work already and load, and then when I'm rowing, I'm continuing that pressure or that tension coming down. So when I get to here, or if I decide to like sit down a little lower and get like this, I'm pushing that elbow to the floor as I go out and as I pull in. So when you're doing lower lat exercise, whether you're doing it like this, whether they're doing a bent over dumbbell row, whether they're doing a bent over bar, any kind of bent over exercise, one of the biggest things, guys, is make sure that we're depressing our shoulder while we're doing the row, right? You can do lower lat stuff and be doing this all day long, but if our arms up like this, we're taking that tension and putting it up into our trap instead of putting it right into our lower lats. Oops. What? Hope that helps out, buddy. Was in the chat. Oh, Canada, what is up? Hell yeah. Had a great. I've had great advice from you. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Are you worried about aspartame? Not at all. I love the question. Here's the reason why I'm not worried about aspartame. All right. Number one, there's a bunch of studies done that there's 0 studies that are saying that if you have aspartame, it's related to cancer, or it can spike your sugar and insulin and yada, all the horror stories you hear about aspartame. Here's what I'm gonna say to anyone who comes up to you and is like, man, you did aspartame stuff, that's dangerous. I want you to be like, do you drink alcohol? Do you smoke cigarettes? Do you smoke weed? Do you do any drugs, whatever? Do you put your seatbelt on when you're in the car? Do you put sunscreen on when you go outside? If they say no to any of those, be like, chill out. The aspartame is probably the most safest thing on all those things if you do not do, right? If that makes sense. Good morning, you too, my brother. Chappelle, cool, man. Dave Chappelle, Arnold, what's up, Darryl? I love how you keep it real, especially with steroids. I appreciate that, man. And that's what we're here for, FTR, guys. If we want to talk about steroids, maybe we could talk about it 100%. I want to give more awareness, or I would say knowledge, understanding about, those certain things. I'm 36, Parkinson disease. Oh my God. I'm half a year into lifting and look and move like I'm a completely different human now. Unbelievable. I ain't taking no credit for that, dog. Like, yo, unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is inspiration at its, don't give me any credit for that at all. That's intrinsic. That's empowerment, man. You keep it up, man. I would hope you're posting. I know you do it for yourself, but like to give some other people some hope and post some stuff about that. That's unreal. You're also one of the biggest natties on YouTube. I am not natural. I cannot say the natural. I have to say, guys, I am right now currently for the last 3 years on 0 substances whatsoever. TRT, peptides, SARMs, pro hormones, growth hormone. I'm on none of those things. But you know what? Back in the day, but before I said because I'm not doing it anymore, I'm natural. I can't say that because it's like once you lose a virginity card, it's not like you can get it back. Even though if you don't have sex ever again, you become a priest, you can't become a virgin again. So But yes, I am not on any steroids whatsoever. For all those people out there who are like, you're a liar, I appreciate that. I'm dead serious. The more you keep saying, like, the second that y'all are like, man, Johnny looking real natural, I'm gonna be like, shit, that sucks. Dead serious. So, advice on back workouts: if you only have a pull-up bar, dumbbells, and oh my god, you can shit. Let's do this right now. Anyone who wants to, we're here. Check this out. All right, we only got a dumbbell. We only got a dumbbell, and we only got a barbell. We say we got dumbbell. If you only have a pull-up bar, dumbbells, and a barbell, you got everything you need. Let me drop some knowledge for you guys. This entire gym here, right? And for most part, for all the gyms in the world, spoiled. There's a lot of carryover. You can do all the things in the world with what you just said. Here's for one thing. One day I'm doing pull-ups this way, right? Maybe next time I'm gonna do pull-ups this way. All right, then when I'm done doing that, maybe I'll warm up with this. Maybe if I'm not strong enough, I'll grab myself a band, wrap it on here, get in like this, and now I'm doing, I'll get some help from here so I can get a nice stretch. And then from there, when I'm done, I go grab a dumbbell. And I've worked, pulling from the top, some rows. Now I'm gonna work some rows, and maybe I'm doing some bent over, dumbbell rows right from here. And then, maybe you don't want to use a dumbbell rows. Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you just want to do a barbell row instead. Even better, we can get a barbell row, do bent over bar rows, load up a little more. And then at the end of my workout, maybe I'll do dumbbell pullovers. So you can do a lot. And then your sky's the limit with your biceps. So super simple, guys, really easy. Down to 345 from yes. I want to drop 100 more pounds. What's a good time frame for that? Can I do that by October? No. You can, but it will not be optimal whatsoever. You got 100 pounds, man, you give that shit a year. And there's nothing wrong with a year. I've helped people lose 100 pounds in a year. Completely doable in a healthy way where you can avoid the most amount of, loose skin. And that's just taking things slow, prioritizing building muscle, prioritizing the proper amount of macronutrients, increasing your protein, making sure you're eating obviously protein, carbs, and fats, and whatnot. But in a year, if you think about it, there's 52 weeks in a year. You can easily burn, I didn't say easily, it'll take work, but you can definitely do, say you're doing 1 to 2 pounds a week, that in 52 weeks in the year, right? There you go. There's 100 pounds. And it's not gonna be linear either. You might drop a bunch of weight to start, and then, start to teeter, but 100% you can do 100 pounds in a year. By October, October, let me see, it's July, August, October, 3 months for a prep. And I'll put it this way: if you're doing like a bodybuilding prep in 3 months, 12-week prep, you can get off 20 pounds. So 3 months, 20 pounds, and then reassess from there. Then you do it again. If you're looking, it's great to have the 100-pound goal. Have that goal 100%. Keep that there. Put in the distance. Have those small goals on the way. You just did 10 pounds. Nice. Let's get another 10 pounds off. Nice. Let's get another 10 pounds off. And do that in a way where not only are you losing fat, those 10 pounds, but you're also gaining some muscle on the way to do that. Make sure you're not eating too less. We want to make sure we're fueling our body in the right way to make sure that we're not losing muscle, because if we're not fueling ourselves properly and we're just doing crash dieting, you're going to be in a world of hurt when you're already down 100 pounds and you're wondering why you have no muscle left and a bunch of loose skin and you're pissed off. So take your time with it. John being the professor with this explanation. I appreciate you, man. OC to workout. Keep trucking. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Kim, kill it, man. We'll see you next week. Yo, Kim is part of my my school community, guys. So if you want to get all the great benefits of being my school community, we have weekly, just like this in-depth Q&As every Saturday. Join the school community along with all the other things that I'm putting out there for my group. Free once you pay the $25 a month and whatnot. So it's worth it. Trust me. Ask anybody who's in there. Who should I get my PT trainer cert with? Also, shout out from channel. Also, can I get a shout out for my channel? OA Lifts. Shout out to my boy OA Lifts. If you're trying to get here's some really good accreditations would be iodized to say NASM, ACE. CSCS is like the cream of the crop. I would say it's very in depth. All those are recognized all over the world, especially United States. So start with those. To be like the CSCS is absolutely it's great. Now when it comes to here's my thing when it comes to what you're going to be doing and using your certification for, you're just training people who want to get in shape, be healthy, live longer, all those things. Doesn't matter what cert you get. What's going to be important is what you do after you get that cert in terms of researching on your own application, with your clients. The only way to get better at being a coach is by actually coaching. So trust me, I know people who have degrees galore and they just can't figure themselves out themselves. Before anyone goes and thinks to try and think into that, don't. So I hope that answers your question. My boy T Buds, love the last video. Have you thought about doing a video like that for the back? Didn't I? Oh, yes, my bad. Yes, 100%. Yes, some of those are already done and being edited as we speak. But yeah, you guys know that I listen to you guys. Whatever you guys say that makes the most sense. Like, hey, Johnny, can you do a back workout with just dumbbells? Gotcha. You know what I mean? Can you do a all cable workout with this? Got you. So you guys give me the suggestions and I will make it happen for sure. Thank you, Johnny. Nice. Fan from India. Nice to meet you, boss. Appreciate you. Better info than hypertrophy coach and Dr. Mike. Wow. That means a lot. That's right. I was joking. Yeah, what's up, boy? I was joking. That means a lot. And I can say from both those guys, I look up to both those guys as a coach myself. And, I think in the end of the day, it's, if you look at us all as like teachers, it's what teacher resonates with you most, right? Some people like my very easy, simplistic way of explaining things. Some people want to hear that in-depth science, all this stuff, right? I can be very science if I wanted to. For me, it's just like, it doesn't help the viewer for me to, jump around a bunch of things that necessarily won't resonate with you, right? If I get to say, hey man, the arm bone, I'm gonna say the arm bone, I'm not gonna be like the humerus that attaches to the cortical process of the shoulder. It's like, nah, man, it's like, here's your arm bone and here's your wrist bone. I'm not gonna say your ulna and your radius and then connects to all this stuff, but you get my drift. Ontario, Quebec here. I thought that you lived for the South. Nah, man, I'm right here in Halifax, man. I'm an Ontario boy. Number one, I'm from Windsor, Ontario, actually. Shout out to Windsor, Ontario. Hey, bro, I'm having trouble growing my legs. Any tips? So there'll be like anybody who is having trouble growing anything. Number one, it could be genetics, but doesn't matter if it's genetics because we have to do the other things to make sure that we're growing. So if you're making sure you're eating enough protein, you're eating enough calories in total, making sure you're resting, making sure you're hydrating, and doing that over and over and over and over again, you will build muscle. I actually did a dope video. It's called Why You're Not Building Muscle. Literally, that's going to be out. It's getting edited right now. But it kind of gives you that insight to, look, we have to do these. There's some things we have to do. There's some non-negotiables that have to happen for you to build muscle. And you can't just do one of the things or two of the things. You have to do all things and then do them consistently. So do those things consistently and making sure that you're doing the right movements in terms of like, hip and knee flexion, some kind of squatting movement, a pressing movement of some sort. And then like, making sure you're getting a nice stretch, getting the lengthening make sure you get a nice length and contraction, slower control of reps, long durations, right? So Johnny, greetings from Colombia. What is up? I'm gonna go to Colombia soon, 100%. from Spain. This is a lot of places I really want to go. That means I gotta do better. I've been utilizing your push-pull leg routine for 2 years. Working great. That's awesome. That is appreciate it. Keep it up, man. I'm gonna be updating a lot of things that I've already done already before. My splits that are online right now are I'm gonna put some more versions of those splits that are in there, just based on a lot of things that I've heard ear to the ground, and then things that I've done for myself, like my push pull, like my 4-day split is a push pull legs. It's a chest back. It's a chest tries, back buys, legs, and the shoulder. And then the other 4-day split I have is a upper body is a upper push pull split, right? So you do chest and back in one day, then you do legs, and then you do shoulders and back another day, then kind of leg type thing. So there's a bunch of things I'm going to put in there, but those will all be available for the school group, just so you know. DJ Disco Beaver, what's good? I love that name. Hey Johnny, been doing those forearm exercises, nice. And they have for a few months ago, getting stronger, definitely all the way from Scotland, man. Keep it up. I love hearing that, man. I love hearing it. It gives me validation. They're like, hey Johnny, you're not talking shit. It's actually working. So thank you guys. Does it make sense? Can do less than half for a single preacher curl, 6-pound dumbbell, 22.5 pounds for dumbbells, or 10. Does it make sense? I can do less than half for a single preacher curl, 60 pounds. Does it make sense? Yes, it does. Because when you're strong with two hands, number one, like it's not a linear thing where because you're doing something that's unilateral or bilateral, right? You're using both hands, right? Then if you take one hand away, you can all of a sudden you should be able to do half. It's not as clear as day as that, right? So you might be doing a little bit less than half of the weight you're using with two hands, if that's what you're talking about. So that makes sense. Thank you, Johnny. Again, nice insight on bodybuilding. Fan from India, man. Appreciate you. Johnny, how to overcome the plateau. So if we're looking at like strength plateaus, there's some things we can do. Strength plateaus are gonna have, let's just put it this way. Let's just say that your nutrition is dope, right? You're doing all the things you need to do in terms of growing muscle and progressing in the gym, getting stronger, moving forward in the kitchen, right? So let's take that variable out of the way. Now, okay, I'm not making progress to the gym anymore. Number one, let's look at your split, let's look at your entire training. Are we doing the same thing in terms of training without a change in the stimulus around? Meaning, we can probably do a build phase for a while and then, maybe a deload and then take some time off for a second, like a little deload week, and then get into a strength phase. What that kind of does is while you're working on building muscle in your building phase and going through like slower repetitions, you're doing maybe like 60 to 85% of your 1 rep max, longer sets, and then you take a deload and then we speed the rep up. We're increasing the weight maybe by 10, 20% and focusing on strength from there, right? When you're done that phase, say maybe 4 to 6 weeks, you go back to the build phase. Your start to your build phase might be higher, should be higher because you spent time getting stronger. So now we're doing our build phase at a higher, at a greater number or greater load, if that makes sense. So look in doing some kind of periodization, right? Give yourself like a build phase, maybe deload in between that, in between a strength phase, do a strength phase and back, and then rinse, repeat. How do progressive overload as I'm weak in compound exercise? Progressive overload. How do you progressive overload compound exercises? Same idea, like I said, when it comes to periodization. Basic periodization, guys, is just like, what does your entire training look like, right? Your mesocycle, your microcycle, your macrocycle. So all that fancy shit is basically saying, if I got a year to train, in that year, what do those months look like? So in the year from January to March, I'm going to work on just building muscle. Then from March until like, April-ish, I'm going to build strength. And then from April to maybe July, I'm going to build again and so forth. So doing that, but again, when it comes to progressive overload, we don't don't think weight all the time. Think of, we can add a rep. Let's add our rep. Let's max out the load we're using by a rep range. And then once we've reached that peak, right? Let's just say we're doing 10 to 15 reps and you're doing squats for some reason, right? We're doing squats for 10 to 15 reps. And you started off you're doing say like a plate. And you do your first week, you're only getting, 3 sets of 10 to 15. You're only getting, 10 reps for 3 sets. The week after, you're getting 11 reps. Then the week after that, now you're getting 12 reps. Week after that, you get 15 reps, and all of a sudden, like, I can definitely do more than 15 reps for these 3 sets. Then we add a load, and then that's how you can progressive overload. If you're reaching a plateau in there, I would say using things like set intensifiers, like rest pause, myo match. Those are good tools that help push yourself past, not failure, but like give yourself, once you reach that limit where you can't lift that weight for those reps anymore, you give yourself a little break, use the same weight and do a couple more reps, and that'll help you get a little stronger in that way, if that helps. How did you avoid your system getting shut down? Saw palmettos, that broccoli stuff. Explain that down there, because I don't know what you're meaning by that. I'm going to say broccoli. I'm thinking about like WEED. But just ask that question again. How to progress overload? We just talked about that. When to take creatine? After take it in the morning. Like, everyone who's watching this, people make creatine so complicated. Get up, man, with your first meal, have some creatine. Simple as that. It doesn't have to be timed at a certain time. You don't have to load it. You don't have to do any of those things. You have to take a post-cycle therapy treatment for creatine. Just take creatine, 3 to 5 grams, more than enough. You're fine. Well, you're buff. Appreciate it. See, I still got it. Guys, you know what I weigh right now? I weigh 100. You don't weigh 100. I weigh 210 pounds right now. 210 pounds. I have not weighed 210 pounds since I was 21. I am the same weight I was when I was 21 years old. It's nuts. I got a picture of it. I'm gonna upload it, but it's pretty funny. Oh my God, it's my, yo, I get Devontae Adams all the time, and I've been mistaken for Devontae Adams in Vegas. And yes, I did say I was Devontae Adams. I got no problem being like, sure, let's take a picture. I don't care. I think it's hilarious. If you think of Devontae Adams, and Devontae Adams is actually like this tall, I'm 5'8", right? Devontae Adams like 6 foot. So, you know what I mean? Like you say, you think I look like a good looking 6 foot NFL player, I'm taking that all day. Yeah, buddy, lightweight. Yes, go. Lods best of Triceps Philippines. Awesome, man. Gotcha. English or Spanish? Inglés. Do Kegels for longevity. Great. Do bodybuilding perform myofibular hypertrophies? Do bodybuilders? Whoa, who's this? Experience of life, asking some in-depth questions about myofibular hypertrophy. Awesome. I don't think a lot of bodybuilders do, right? Because myofibular is a very short, that type of training, that is your purely strength training. There's studies that I'm sure if you went over to Doc Mike's channel, he will probably give you more in depth of myofibular hypertrophy, because so from what I've studied for years is basically there's like 2 systems of like hypertrophy. Number 1, hypertrophy just means expansion of cells, right? So when we say muscle hypertrophy, that means expansion of muscular cells. Myofibular hypertrophy is the expansion of the muscle cell itself, where sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is the expansion of the fluid around the cell, right? So sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is a type of hypertrophy that a lot of us train in terms of like building muscle. So when we talk about like the expanding the fluid around the cell, that would be translated to like the pump you feel, right? When you train for hypertrophy, you get a pump. When you train for strength, you don't get a pump, right? You're not training long enough in that set, or you're lifting too heavy for your body to lift long enough to get a pump in that set, right? So there's a difference. So I would say like not many people do train myofibular hypertrophy if that's what we're really talking about. Really, I'm just sitting here doing my hair and shit. My bad. Yes. We talked about that already. How big is the hog, sir? Asking. I don't have a hog. I had a cat, and his name was Ty. Died a couple years ago. So I was looking into getting a hog. My friend has one. They're massive. It's probably not good. They have these little hooves that go click, 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 click when they walk around hardwood floor and F your floor up. So no hogs, Bo. Just a little. I had a little tiny Siamese cat, and God bless Jesus is King. Yes, He is. 100%, man. Selah. Um, what's up, little man? What's up, dog? We call him little. We call him little, man. Just because I lost some weight. That's it. Just so you know you're insecure. You're like, what do you mean little? I'm big as hell. What are you talking about? I was just joking about October, okay. But a year got you. Thanks a lot. Also, Drake, King of the Dot. Drake or K Dot. Is K Dot? Wait, you can't say. Is K Dot Kendrick? Because you can't say Drake or K Dot. Because like K Dot sounds like King of the Dot, and the dot is like old back in the day, like T.O. That's how old you know I am. But when it comes down to it, man, yeah, I'm from Canada, but yeah, my man Drake took a beating. You know what I mean? Like Kendrick did something to him. Like he did it. So, whew. Nick Duck, is this his first time in the gym? It is. Live, good to see you, real good to see you too. JD, the trick is volume. Yes, 100%. I did Winstrol in the 90s in high school and was a high school, it was a high responder, sorry. I'm 46 now and have seen DECA and peptides helping friends immensely in the gym. If I were to jump back on, how would my body respond? Well, your body wouldn't, like when I work with athletes that are hyper responders, and they're hyper responders because of their TRT dose from their doctor and what they're able to do with that. That's just, you know what I mean, seeing them respond from there. Now, so my point is that you're not going to be a hyper responder when you're younger, then all of a sudden you're not a hyper responder anymore. You don't lose that, right? That's just the genetics that you have. I would say you would respond well. I would say if you're using something like DECA, most of the time when people are using DECA, it's more so for like doctors prescribe that for like joint pain. At a very low dose, like 50 milligrams, whatnot, is fine. But I wouldn't use DECA for like at all for anything but joint health. And that's the secret sauce when it comes to properly using anabolics. When you're using it and your testosterone is actually low, and then you're taking TRT and then increasing your test to stay in the optimal range, the benefits are unbelievable. And then you're adding something like DECA to that to help out with like joint pain and joint health, even better, right? And then you're also avoiding the side effects. It's when you take the redonkulous amounts that you're starting to, oversaturate your receptors, and all of a sudden, put it this way, it's one of my favorite analogies I use for steroids. If I get an empty cup, right? I get an empty cup and I put a little drop in that cup. It's got 100% more than it did before, right? But if I take that cup and I just start freaking pouring water in and it overflows, well, now it's making a mess everywhere, right? And that's basically the easiest way to give you an analogy of like what your body goes through. You start pouring, it overflows. Yeah, you got a full cup, but then the rest of it's creating a mess, right? So there's my thing. Yo, JD, man, you keep asking me how to overcome plateaus, man. We can be serious here, right? I thought I answered that question. Great info. My boy, experience of life. What's your view on 375 milligrams of Test E and 200 milligrams of Anavar sublingual development on training days for a 36-year-old dude? So here's my thing. And this isn't like, oh, Johnny's being, he's trying to be politically correct. Here's my thing. I'm a 41-year-old male. Right now, I don't need anything right now. So last time I got my blood work done was a couple years ago. I got it done from I forget the company. They're sponsoring the channel for a bit, but anyway, it was 576 nanograms per liter, pretty sure, or deciliter, whatever. Sorry. I was in it. It's in a pretty healthy. Out of 900, that's still a pretty good range, right? My body responds really well to training. I feel good. My guy is working pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I don't need it, right? Now, if my doctor's like one day is like, yo, Johnny, like, or I'm like, yo, I'm feeling absolutely terrible. I don't have any drive for anything, yada yada. I go to the doc, he takes my blood work, he's like, yeah, your test is at like 200, right? It's been low, it's been in the negatives before, guys. So I understand this. Then I'm like, doc, hook it up because I don't want to feel like shit. And then my doc gives me test and then takes my test and brings it all the way up to 900 and no greater, or 800, no greater. The benefits you guys have to understand that you can get from just having your testosterone in a higher range within the range is absolutely amazing. I have a guy that was doing 300 milligrams test, and his test levels were in the 10,000s, right? Like 10,000 just from that, right? So when you look at, you know, I get why some people are like, yeah, man, I'm gonna only do like 375. I get it, right? Oh, I'm gonna do only 250. It's because when we're putting out numbers, like myself, when I was open class, I would say just Sustanon, I was doing 1,125 milligrams of Sustanon. Just sus. We're not talking about DECA. We're not talking about EQ. We're not talking about T-ball. We're not talking about all the other things that add to it. Definitely 3 grams, right? So when we're saying numbers like that, everyone's like, yeah, man, I'm only doing 375 because that's way less. Only thing is like 375 is going to bring yourself way higher than the range, which will give you the side effects that you don't want. So it is better that if you're not going to go to your doctor, it's better you actually get blood work done. This is how easy you can do it yourself. Go get blood work done yourself, right? Go pay for it, get your blood work done. You're going to get it back and it's going to say X, Y, and Z. And say it's in the middle range and you're like, all right, cool. Then I recommend that you talk to a doctor and then you do like start off at like 50 milligrams, right? And then get your blood work done in like a few, in a couple months. And it comes back, you're like, oh shoot, it went up to X, went up this many points, right? You want your body to work optimally. You don't want all the ranges in your body, you do not want them to be above. That's the secret sauce. And then adding something like 20 milligrams of R actually makes sense because you'll reap the benefits of all the things that the test will do when it's in a range where it's going to keep you healthy. So I recommend find the range that's going to keep you, find the milligram or dose that's going to keep you within that healthy range. Like there's no problem wanting to have it at the highest range, but not over. You know what I'm saying? You're a bodybuilder who's trying to win the Olympia, you're going to be going over. Like everything has extremes. You want to win the Olympia, you're not doing 375 milligrams of test. You're going to be doing more than that. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that gives you more insight. If you ask me again about your plateaus, I'll refighting, bro. Why don't I just lift this thing higher so I'm not like bending over? It's kind of annoying. I'm like breaking my neck trying to read this. All right. Do you prefer dumbbells over barbells for chest? I 100% dumbbells all day long. Reason being is because when we're in, it's funny. I did a chest tier videos getting edited right now. They'll be out. But here's a simple reason why I like dumbbells over barbells. Dumbbells allow us to do the full range of motion, right? When it comes to shoulder adduction, is basically what's happening is that this muscle is bringing this arm in like this, right? So when I have a dumbbell, I can go all the way down, that I can get a great stretch, a full stretch, where most of the time the bar will be blocking that. And then I can get all the way full adduction. If I have a bar, my arm's gonna stop here because I'm simply holding a bar, right? So dumbbells for me over barbell, 9 times out of 10, unless I go somewhere where they don't have any dumbbells at all and they only have a barbell. Which would be like my basement kind of. Katrina Adams, what's good? You and Doc Mike literally 360 changed how I diet. Unreal, man. Train, thank you for your inspiration, man. Again, I'm gonna say it all the time. Thank you for for me, I guess being someone of the catalyst, but you're the one that's doing the work, right? I've coached a lot of people who are like, man, they've had me coaching them and literally just won't do the work, right? So for you to go on, for anybody that's on here right now that's watching, you guys are all empowered because you guys are here because you want to get better. And that makes me feel kind of good because you trust what I'm saying to help you get better. And so it's an iron sharpens iron thing, guys. So keep it up, but always give yourself the credit. We are doing just a small part in just giving you information, and hopefully you guys can apply it to yourself. So unreal job, Katrina. My man Nelson, what's good? I am currently working out. I eat only twice a day. How many grams of protein should I have a meal? So I'm gonna tell you to eat 3 times at least. Here's why I'm saying that. For a healthy protein intake, for your body to absorb if you're trying to build muscle, like everyone here is trying to build muscle or at least preserve muscle. Nobody here watching this is like, yo, Johnny, how do I lose muscle? I'm gonna be like, check this out. If you want to lose muscle, don't know how many calories you're eating and eat 2 meals a day. I'm dead serious. So if we want optimal protein intake to be able to give us what we need for building muscle or sustaining muscle, we want to eat at least 3 meals of protein to 5 meals a day. So 3 the bare minimum and then 5. Now, when it comes to the amounts, 1 to 1 grams of protein per body weight. However you can adjust that for you. And that's why another reason why you should eat more than 2 meals. Again, you don't want to sit in 1 meal and try and dummy down. Let's say you're 200 pounds, right? And we got to put 200 grams of protein in us, and your 1 meal is going to be 200 grams, 100 grams of protein. Like it's just not optimal, right? It's better that you split those meals up, let your body absorb it optimally, right? If it makes sense. So try to do 3 meals. If anything, if you want to do 2 meals and then add like a shake meal, go right ahead. That'll be a lot easier to be able to get your protein in, because it'll be very hard to get yourself X amount of, like anyone who's watched, any male that's watched this, I would say is going to be probably between 150 to 300 pounds, right? So 75 grams of protein in a meal is pretty tough. I have a question. All right. Wait, I love that. Ask a question. This uncle will make you live longer. Dang it. I know I messed the damn thing up, man. Shout me, get off my title. I gotta fix the title. I'll fix it when it's done. It got you to click, didn't it? So there, LJ, max deadlift. My max deadlift was, I forget, it was 6 something. It was like 630 or something like that. I could squat 6 something, 630-ish, and I can deadlift 6 something-ish. And then I can only bench. I don't do 1 rep max or bench. I basically did 405 for 5. That's what my numbers were back in the day. I couldn't even budge that shit right now. I don't even want to. I got a hip surgery, for fuck's sakes. I'm currently working out. I eat only twice a day. We talked about that already. How to overcome plateaus. JD, I swear to God. Mr. Tell Like It Is, what's up? From your experience, what is the best way for someone to start with weightlifting if they aren't completely motivated to do it? Oh, that's a hard one, man. That's hard. Like the only way to get someone to actually start lifting weights, if they're not motivated, because you're not going to motivate them. You're not going to be like, yo, man, you just got to go, man. Listen to these CT Fletcher videos or something, or watch this. They're not. It's an intrinsic thing. You have to find it important or prioritize it to yourself if you actually want to go to the gym. So for me, it's like, I can't give you motivation, right? You have to decide to want to do it yourself. What normally happens is, which sucks, and from what I've recognized, that when people who aren't motivated to train, it takes a tipping point for them. And what I mean by tipping point? It takes something in their life that's extreme that makes them be like, oh shoot, I need to work out. Here's the thing. It could be you go visit a doctor. The doctor's like, if you don't work out, you're going to die. You're at risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, all those things, right? And then you're like, oh my God, shit, I gotta get a coach, and I get clients like that. Or one day you step out of the shower and you're like, oh my God, and you're just not happy with what you look like, and you're like, I gotta do something about it. Or something happens in a shameful way where somebody makes a comment or something happens that makes you aware of where your physique is. So like when it comes to motivation, man, it's hard for me to be like, yo, read this book. It's like, motivation is bullshit, right? It is. Like motivation is like you don't get motivated to brush your teeth, right? It's just something you know you have to do. And when people start to really understand that training is something that's going to actually make them live longer, that's what people just don't understand, right? They look at working out still as this recreational thing. I do it once in a while. You know, I gotta go to a wedding, so I want to look good and stuff like that. And they're not really understanding that like all of this right here is keep me out of the fucking doctor's office, right? You want to live longer? Literally, all literature says cardio 150 minutes a week, three times a week of 30 to 45 minutes of resistance training will literally reduce your risks by like the most ridiculous percentage of all those like, you know, cardiovascular disease, cognitive disease, all those things, right? So hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but I hope you get my point. Fix title, mind. I can't fix my title right now, okay? I can't fix it after. What's your max day? We already asked. See this already? What's going on here? You're great in the trades. Appreciate it. I just got an email from production, and we start filming soon. So I'm stoked. I'm back on season 2. So appreciate you, man. Your boy Marcus is back. How many times a week should you train each muscle group? You can train each muscle group 2 to 4 times a week. And then, like I said, I find there's some muscle groups you could train easily 4 times a week, and there's some that you probably only need 2. It all depends on the person too as well. You know, it all depends on how fast that person responds to certain training stimulus, and you know what part of their body grows pretty quick, right? So I would say that there's a lagging muscle group on your body that needs more attention. You're going to train at least 2 times a week. Hey man, I've seen your vids and they are very informative. Thank you. Remember me? Are you a former gear guy, and how are you not on gear? Oh, okay, cool. Or are you still running some stuff? So as I said earlier, guys, I am on no gear. I'm on 0 gear. I'm on 0 testosterone. I'm on 0 TRT. I'm on nothing right now. And I'll say this, I'll only go back on if it is detrimental to my health. That means my mental health, like all the things here's the reason why people go on TRT. Here's the reason why they go on TRT. Number one, obviously their test levels are low, and that low test level is resulting in mental illness, depression most of the time, your overall health, your ability to do normal things on a day-to-day. Those things get affected tremendously when you actually have low T, when you actually do. So if one day that after using steroids for 8 years comes back down the road, I'm 41 right now, let's say by 51, it's like, hey man, your body can't sustain the test you have right now, and it's starting to dip. And I'm starting to feel like, I got a lot of things in my life to be happy about and to be proud about and to love life about. I will 100% know the difference when I'm looking at those things with like a very dark lens. And I'll be like, something's going on. I know my body very well. That's the only thing I'll go on. Reason being is, here's the thing. My dad had prostate cancer. My uncle Bugs died of prostate cancer. My uncle Harry just died this year of cancer. Okay, so people are like, yeah, man, you're lying. You're doing steroids. I'm like, yeah, no, because I don't want to die. Right now, they all died except my uncle Bugs. My uncle Harry, he just passed this year in his 80s. My father's 85. He survived prostate cancer. He's also in late stage dementia and still alive with us. So it's like, when I look at life now, I look at those last years of my life and how I want to live, right? Right now, I know I'm going to live pretty good, right? When I look at life, it's like, what I'm going to do, like what I'm doing right now will affect those years of my life. And that's when it's going to count the most. Like, who's going to be there when wiping your butt when you can't? And what kind of state, what kind of like, what kind of, shape are you in at that point in your life? Is this really live? It is. It is, because I just read the thing. That's why it's live. It's live. So much respect from Otto. Hell yeah, Otto, what's good, man? Go picking. I don't get that. More. Oh, it's a racist joke. It says fart tornado, go picking. The next one's like more cotton, more muscle. Oh, that's good. Man, people are just so sad. Speedwagon, go to the doctor and blood test, 100%. Good shit. How to overhead cable tricep extension. I did it my first time and it effed up my shoulder. Okay, so overhead tricep extension. So I'll do it with the ropes, with the rope, and I'll do it with the bar. All right. So I like doing them standing. Now you can use an easy bar. Honestly, guys, you can use whatever you want, to be honest. I'm gonna give you a bunch of options. We can use all of these. What matters the most is your elbow positioning, right? So let's just take the rope, for instance, right now. So it's like breaking myself. All right, so right here's the issue. We have this. This is your first no-no, right? It's doing like this, and then elbows are doing this. We want to be here, right? This is going to help keep our shoulders in a better, I would say, more healthy position, right? And then again, my chest is going to be up, and I'm here. So I'm here and coming down this way. I'm not doing this and then doing this. So this is one of those very common ways of doing, overhead extensions, and then all of a sudden my shoulders are hurting. Right now my shoulders don't feel good. Right now they do, right? So where are they there? We can even use the easy bar, right? The V bar. I like using the V bar. It's fixed. It's easier for me to be here, and then I'm just here, right? And then I'm pulling this way, right? And shoulders are staying down, chest is up. I don't want to be here. I don't want my traps to be engaged, and I'm sitting here and like choking myself with my traps. I want my shoulders to be down, right? So if you see me from this way, my shoulders are down. I'm not like this. I'm here, right? Same with the rest of the handles. So there you go. And fellow Windsorite. Philion, okay. Is that the one I know? Hell yeah. Thanks appreciate it, man. I got love for my city, man. Agent Barry, cruising and blasting here, only T. Would you push T milligrams up on a cut or take them down? So here's the thing. Here's the reason why we do gear for bodybuilding, right? The main purpose of steroids in bodybuilding is so we preserve muscle, right? Now we also have to make sure we feed it, but we are feeding it. We're feeding it very minimal. We're feeding it just enough. So having the gear in during the cutting phase allows us to be able to preserve the muscle that we have, because it's rapidly going to create more muscle and whatnot. So you don't have to do anything to your testosterone, to your test. Keep it the way it is, and just make sure you're at least eating 1 to 1 grams of protein per body weight, and you can keep your T the exact way it is. You don't have to change anything at all. You don't have to decrease it or whatever. If anything, most of the time, the only thing you might see is when you're in a cut and you get lean enough, that testosterone enanthate is going to have a little more water retention, and again, that's just water, right? So don't do something too crazy. Like I said, keep the way it is, and you're completely fine. Spain is awesome. Hell yeah. I've been in several cities. Cool. Love Spain. Nice. I haven't been there yet. This guy even responding to YouTube comments. Anyone? Are we all talking to ourselves here? What lateral dumbbell raising? Why lateral dumbbell raises hurt like hell? I literally tried them to avoid, but I know it's necessary for side delts. So a couple things to make sure that if you're doing them, if you can do them on a machine, I recommend. Sorry, on the cable, I recommend, because it's easier to control. from here, right? So if we're pulling from this way, right, having it round our waist, we can create more tension. But at the same time, is that we want to make sure that, you know, our arm is, we're not lifting that. I want to make sure that my arm stays here, right? I don't want this. I don't want to end doing this because, again, if you look at where the dumbbell, or sorry, the cable's pulling, it's going to pull my shoulder. It's going to internally rotate my shoulder. So if we're doing a lot of this stuff, you end up finding out, you end up using too much of your traps to pull the weight up. So we want to make sure the arm is long and pulling here. Now, I'm stealing this from somebody because I saw Mike Van Wyck about to make fun of somebody with this, and then he tried it, and he was like, whoa, this is actually dope. And then I was like, let me try this shit out. Straight up, I don't know who the hell has tried this thing out, but take a V-bar. Try this out. Whoever's, my man here who's got any issues, take the V-bar, right? We're actually gonna grab inside like this and have the other part of the bar on your arm. You're probably like, man, that hurts. It actually doesn't. What this does, which is crazy, is it keeps your arm straight. So all the things that I'm trying to get people to do to make sure they're not doing so much wrist English, like a lot of times when we're lifting, you see this, like a lot of this happens, we're trying to lift the weight up and then this transfers to our trap, we're doing this wonky shit. This actually corrects it. This corrects it, so like I'm not even trying, but if I'm holding here, then literally my arm stays completely straight, and it's just such a dope hack. So give this a try and let me know how it goes, but whoever found this out is an absolute genius, and they'll probably start freaking selling these and making money, and they already have them, which is pretty funny. So sorry guys, I'm not getting down these comments right away. I'm doing my best. What up, Johnny? What do you recommend for stretching and flexibility, and when should I do them? After workouts? Okay, so I would recommend that, say we're training chest, right? We train chest. When you're done working out, then we're gonna stretch our chest, right? We can do some things like just like kind of stretching your muscle here. If you have a lacrosse ball, go into was one of the best ones to do. If you have a lacrosse ball, I think I went back here actually. There we do, nice. If we have a lacrosse ball, and you can handle the lacrosse ball, if you can't get a tennis ball, get something a little bit less, painful, but basically very simple. We put in like this right here, and we basically kind of like roll on it right here into our arm, right? We want it here into the pec, and then you basically press onto it. That's really good to do after doing chest. Same thing if we're doing like, say, delts, or we're training shoulders. Then we're doing some shoulder stretching where we can be, here and then stretching your delt out this way, doing like thread the needle, which is basically going on the ground. Might as well show you because I'm here. So, you've done all your exercises, then after you're done, maybe there's a turf area at your gym, or I don't know, a stretching area, most of the time there is. We're gonna sit here like this, open up like here, and we're gonna slip this arm underneath and just sit like this. And then we're gonna stretch that delt. And then we can basically stretch it more by just opening up like this, right? And then we can work some rotator stuff as well too after. Same with like legs. When we're training legs, we're gonna do some kind of like stretching stuff. We can do some lunging where we're kind of, stretching the hip flexor after, or we're doing, quad stretches. And I recommend doing those things after you're done training, and do them on rest days. If you're at home, chilling at home, watching TV, I got a yoga mat in front of my TV. I'll just lay it out, and I'll watch something, and if I have the time, but I'll just go on there and I'll start stretching. So, before your sets, before you exercise, warm yourself up, give your blood moving, your heart moving, I guess. And then I would say getting into just like making sure we're going through 4-range of motion through all the movements that we're doing on those days, whatever, muscle group we're working. And then after, give yourself some time to stretch. Do you have to stretch directly right after the gym? No, but give yourself a chance to win. Because if you're not stretching and you just delay it, you'll probably just not stretch at all. So, good man, thanks, appreciate it. Does a Monday to Thursday, 2 times a week, upper body, upper lower split, and then 3 days of light cardio to recover make sense? Of course. Of course it does. Makes a lot of sense. That's great. Start there, and that's really good, actually. If it makes sense for your schedule, you can commit to those days and you can do the best in those days, 100%. Which muscle group would you recommend I start with my week? I've been working out for 2 years. So I can't recommend anything because I don't know what your body is. So here's the answer I'm going to give you. Whatever muscle group you believe needs the most amount of work, you're going to prioritize that at the beginning of your week. So it seems like everybody needs to work their chest, so on Monday they're doing chest. But again, when I program for my athletes, all my clients I call athletes, is my way of empowering them. Either way, when I program for my athletes, I program priority muscle groups. So if it's like, are they doing a push-pull legs? They could be doing a legs push-pull. They could be doing a pull-push legs. They could be doing a pull legs push, right? So it's whatever muscle group that you believe that needs the most work, we prioritize that muscle at the beginning of the week. Bro, I'm only 60 kilograms and 20 years old. So you're 130-ish. I'm probably short. All good, man. That means you're probably lean. Keep it up, man. Sky's the limit. You're all good. Eat, train hard, do it over and over and over again. Between you and Greg, once I found you lost over 100 pounds, 37, nice. Old, best shape of my life and have abs. Unreal. Keep it up, man. Like I said, again, well, I'll take a little bit of the credit, but I ain't taking all of it. I'll take about 2% of all the things you've done. So appreciate it, man. Make sure you give yourself all the love and credit for what you're doing. What exercises you do for biceps? My favorite is this preacher curl machine. This is the Atlantis preacher curl that we got here. It's my absolute favorite. I'm usually doing this and with some type of a hammer curl, and that's usually probably with the rope in with the cables. I gotta go soon, guys. I gotta call soon. I'm using your ebook, nice. And when it says 2 cluster sets of 4 to 5 reps, use the weight for almost 10 reps for the first set. Does this mean that I do 1 set of 10 and the next set? No, it basically means is like you have to predict the weight that you have. So like a weight that you can do for, let's just put it this way. I can do, here it is, right? If I know that I can do 10 reps at say like 185, right? So 185, I know you do 10 reps at 185, your 10 rep max or your 10 reps you do. And then when you're doing your clusters, you're doing 5 reps break for a sec, 5 reps, break for a sec, 5 reps, break for a sec with the weight that you can do for 10 reps. So don't do 10 reps first. Just do the weight that you would use for 10 reps. Basically, whatever your 10 rep max would be. Don't be late, get a doctor to examine your prostate, 100%. I got mine, TMI, in the last year, I've got every orifice checked and it was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I got, the one that you look in your bladder, but they got to go through your boy and it was just absolutely, it felt so violating. It was necessary, but the results was I am extremely healthy. Got nothing going on in my bladder. My kidneys look good. All things. I got to see what my kidneys look like through the peep of my pee-pee. It was messed up. It was messed up because it just felt terrible. Even the numbing gel they use, there ain't nothing numbing about that at all. I don't give a shit. I don't care how much you can't put enough numbing cream in there. That was just absolutely. But yes, get yourself checked. Get that prostate checked, yours, y'all. What's the best way to get shut down? What's the best way to not get shut down when you get off steroids? Do a PCT immediately. So like Novadex, Clomid, HCG. I can't give you the actual reconstitution or the actual dosages because I don't know who you are or what you're doing. But 100%, if anything, a lot of times I recommend. This is what I've done before is I wouldn't just stop. I did come out cold turkey when I stopped the last time, but only because I was only doing 150 milligrams of testosterone for like over a year, right? So if you're gonna say you're doing X amount of dose, say you're doing 500 milligrams, Then I'm gonna come off. I'm gonna do for a week, a couple weeks after, I'm gonna drop it down to like, 400. Then I'm gonna drop it down to like 200. Then I'm gonna drop it down to like 100. And then I'm gonna come off and then start my PCT, just so there's not this absolute crash. It's when people stop, they're doing like 1,000, and then they're like, all right, PCT time, and they stop. It's like, ugh. So I would say taper off your test first, and then do your PCT. That's probably the best way for crashing. That's why I didn't crash after I got when I stopped doing gear. Well done, appreciate it. Does Tungcat Ali work? It does. Tungcat Ali actually works. I was very surprised. I will 100% tell you guys if something does not work, I'm like, yeah, this stuff's bullshit. Tungcat Ali actually works. It's actually nuts. The crazy thing now is that I've been doing this. I've been in this game for years. I've been in the gym since 11 years old. I've been fascinated with like, over-the-counter supplements and all these things for years. There's always been like testosterone boosters left and right. And I was always the kind of guy that like, man, testosterone boosters don't work. That's bullshit. You're just trying to get, trying to appease to the market that wants to take steroids but just can't. So they're going to do T boosters. Now there are actually some good test boosters that have Tungcat Ali in it that actually do help increase your natural testosterone. One is Booster has one. I'm pretty sure HTLT has it in theirs as well too. I think a lot of test boosters now have that product in there because it actually does work. It's not going to work like testosterone, so don't get it wrong. You're not going to get the results. If you did 10 milligrams of testosterone, it's going to do 100 times better than Tungcat Ali. So don't think you're going to get this crazy, steroid effect or results. You're not. But understand that 2 to 5% increase of natural test is actually insane. And those numbers aren't accurate, but just give me an idea. Appreciate it, man. Marsh, appreciate it. Marsh Martin, what is the best protein shake to take? The one that has not, okay, so any protein that's not amino spiked, meaning if you look on the side of your protein, you see a long list of amino acids, like there's like 20 of them. It's a cheap protein, right? But when it comes down to it, if you get a good protein that has at least 20 grams of protein per serving, and that serving is like anything between like 120 to 130, maybe 50 calories per, that's good protein. Then it has to be able to mix good with whichever you're using and taste good, right? When it comes down to it, most people will get protein that just tastes good more than they'll get something that actually is good. So number one, your protein per scoop has to be at least 20 to 25 at least. You don't want anything that's going to be higher than 150 calories because when you're getting those higher calorie ranges, because they're adding a lot more carbs. And if you want something that's more of like an isolate, get that. And then again, you want mixability to be good, and then you also want to make sure that it tastes good. And if you want to get a good protein, I'm saying this right now, Blue Sun Nutraceuticals, ISO Smooth, and our Shake One. Our Shake One is actually really dope. Our Shake One is a protein with caffeine in it. So you can, we have 2 dope flavors, triple chocolate, and then we have natural caffeine, and it tastes really good, and it's a good protein, high-end protein. Go to the link in the description below and grab yours today. What a great CTA that was. It's natural. Appreciate it. Johnny, you're the best. Appreciate it, man. Kim, King Kun, you're the best. Appreciate you. Mental nomad, no clue what that means. Does tongue, I got that already. Yeah. I got one more to go, guys, and I actually got to go. So Chris got a good question. I'm sorry I can get these faster. Next time I'll get Erica here and make sure she can read these faster. But hey, John, I love all your content and apply it. If creatine is already in your pre-workout, do you need to take creatine separate? No, you don't. If you're getting, well, put it this way: if your creatine is giving you 3 milligrams, if your pre-workout is giving you 3 to 5 grams of creatine, then you do not need to add creatine, right? If it's not, I do recommend just having a regular monohydrate protein. Createch from Blue Sun Nutraceuticals, same thing. We have great creatine. Try that. But again, if you already have it in your pre-workout, don't worry about it. Any pre-workout recommendations? I'm struggling here, Johnny. Yes, PPK, Blue Sun Nutraceuticals, guys. I hit the link description below. Check it out. Use that code. We have some really, 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 really good supplements. Check it out. And we have what's my favorite flavor? It's what's that? The popsicle that has the rocket pop. favorite flavor. Absolutely delicious. I'm officially 7 days smokeless. Nice. Tobacco free. Good for you. But I've gained 5 pounds. Of course, that happens for sure. What can I do to help with snacking and cravings? Number one, get rid of all the things in your house that would allow you to snack. Make sure you have food in the house that you're prepared to be able to have and cook. Don't go out without having something that's there already for you, right? If you have like a protein bar on hand, so when you get hungry, you got a protein bar to eat. And then just work at it, man. Work at it. I never had a nicotine addiction, but I do understand that once that's gone, it's, cravings do increase. So number one, don't shame yourself if you fall off the wagon here and there. Don't do that at all. I saw in the review. I want to see it. Screw Drake. Oh, okay. Cool. One more question, guys. Sorry. Vertical stuff. We have to do it this way. My bad, guys. I've been back in the gym for 7 years. Hell yeah. Down for 2. Heck yeah, let's go. Watch a lot of fitness videos. The way you teach and explain things is one of the best I have come across. Thank you. That means a lot. It does. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dan. Hey, Johnny, I'm currently getting the CT, CPT, CE, CNC, and NASM. Dang. Any tips? Shoot. Any tips for someone getting into this as a side hustle, willing to help people? Appreciate anything help. Don't look at it as a side hustle. If you look at it as a side hustle, you won't put the effort you need to put into it. Look at it as an opportunity for you to be able to become a better teacher and to help other people live longer, right? If you have that side hustle mentality, then we'll take that side hustle approach, right? So I know what you're saying. I'm not trying to knock you on that, but do your best to, again, do your research. All things you're learning, apply to yourself first. Know what it feels like, and then it'll be easier to be able to teach other people what you're learning yourself. I gotta go, guys. I gotta call in about 2 minutes. But again, this time next week, guys, if you want more in-depth Q&As and courses and everything else, guys, hit my school community up right now. Go there right now. We do some magic stuff there. It's absolutely awesome. Anyway, till next time, guys, you know how it is. Iron Showers Iron, Progressive Overload Your Life. In the meantime, guys, appreciate you. Keep dream chasing.